I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her, and she gon' work that round. I'ma mess around and drown when she drop that down. No more phone me blowing up, I like not right now. Oh, I swear that she in next the way she work that mouth. Whoa, automatic cause she move, she be cousin steady. I be straight up like an addict, might become an addict. Now I gotta have it, had enough with all the moves, yeah, move here. Ooh, let me grab it, now I'm on 1 year. Now I'm not done yet, told her wait right here. I'll be back one sec, this is just time out, this is not no way. Go and grab that friend, and you know what's next stage. You been rockin' with it all-star, baby, and I know you coming early like a 5-star, baby. Packing out the seat, this ain't no hostile, baby, and they know me in the city like a mob star. Oh, I tell her get low, gon' rock with me. You gon' mess around now and get a shopping spree. I'm now in your possession like apostrophe. Oh, enough with all the talking, I just told her say less and do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her do more, do more, do more, do more. Go ahead, set the mood right, dirty like a food fight. You been working all day, load it up in 2 nights. Do more, do more, do more, do more. Oh, I tell her,
yeah. Head up in the clouds, though they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Hey yo, Jay, can we get some ratchet one time?
Look, I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the stop, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peace, you gon' see the flex when you hear these writtens. Trust me, you know the difference. I got a long ways to climb before you see a slippage. I see the process and the journey I'm supposed to be, but perplexed, cause I don't really see nobody close to me. Hopefully this ain't wasted and I know it ain't. You gotta take the time for seasoning to marinate. You need the patience and the pressure just to detonate. I'm trying to blow up and these heathens need to get it straight. Gifted with a vision and precision, I'm just trying to make it high key. Might be breaking free like I was Zion in some Nikes. Tucked at the crib, bro, you know just where to find me. Making beats and spitting crack verses pretty likely, yeah. Socks with the burst, boy, I ain't changed a bit. Normal guy till I die, you know what it is. You probably thought I'd give up now that I got some kids, but really now I got these arrows aiming at your ribs. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas. Hey, please be on the notice, these my motives. Bought my chicken and it's rotis. You parsimonious, you take it all cause you a locust. My focus is to grow this mission. A visionary, get a dictionary. We here off the rip and we ain't sharing, we just caring. Let me speak it to the manager. We damage her, no you ain't messing with an amateur. I'm ramming, the competition ain't standing up. They fanning from left to right cause now they branded us. Now who that is? Mike Jones, they ain't want me now. They all on me, got counterfeits trying to play me. I guess they thinking I'm Sony. These big head dummies showing up and out of their character. Homie, you need a price cause without it the squad ain't hearing you. Top of that, we ain't fearing yet. We swinging for the fences with the sting of a left hook that connects with Sonny Liston. I'm dismissing any and all of the disrespect. Nonetheless, it ain't a threat. I'm just letting y'all know who's next. I don't wanna talk. How you try and press the kid and really you was soft. All you know is capping, homie, you don't know the law. Pedal to the metal, you ain't catching me in park. I just hit the start, I don't wanna speak. Talking all that good, so I just hit you with the plays. Running up the score like Tyreek, I'm going deep. Watch me how I'm saucing, I be spreading it with ease. You gon' see the peas, you gon' see the...
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What? That was weird. What is going on, everybody? OBS just glitched out. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, XRP, baby. XRP broke that doorway to higher prices at 62 cents, just like we were looking for. And where's it sitting right now? It might have ripped a little bit extra. But if you guys know, let me know. Drop the XRP target in the chat right now. If you guys know what we were looking at next. Once we broke that doorway to higher prices, there was a very specific level we were looking to go to next. Go ahead and drop it in the chat if you guys have been here and you know what we've been looking at. But we're going to be taking a look at XRP, guys. As XRP is starting to rip, we broke that doorway to higher prices, and we are now sitting at the exact target, or the exact next target that we were looking at. Can we make it to $1 soon? I want to talk about that in tonight's live stream, as well as obviously covering Bitcoin, as Bitcoin got the rejection. Speaking of key levels, guys, Bitcoin got the rejection right from that Fibonacci retracement we were looking at yesterday. Crazy. We were looking at those two zones. The first one didn't hold. Second one wound up being that lower high for a continuation back to the downside. Is Bitcoin finally going to get that bigger retracement that we were looking for yesterday? We're going to break it down. I'm going to show you guys the signals that we're looking at on the charts, the bearish signals, the bullish signals, the key levels, and I'm going to show you guys where I'm expecting bounces and rejection so you can find that next move on Bitcoin and hopefully make some money off that information. Not off my information. It's never financial advice, but we do sometimes. We are sometimes able to tell where price is going to go, which could be lucrative if you know how to use that information. So shout out to the CandleMafia guys. Smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some free chances to win some free crypto. If we get 1,000 likes on tonight's live stream, we will. I think we hit our like goal yesterday, didn't we? I think we might have. Or did we just miss it? We might have just missed it. I don't even remember, guys. I live stream so much that I just forget what happens sometimes. But yeah, smash up that like button, guys. If we get 1,000 likes, we'll give away another $100 in Solana. Even if we got the giveaways yesterday, we'll give away another $100 in Solana if we can get that 1,000 likes. So smash that up. I don't care if you touch it with your butt, hit it with your elbow, creepily fondle it. If you don't know what creepily fondling is, guys, it's something like this. It's like a limp-handed fondle. It's like, I don't know. I can't explain. It's just kind of like a creepy touch. I don't care. I'm not watching, guys. Just go touch that like button. That's all I'm saying. But with all that being said, guys, let's shout out to Mafia before we jump on into the charts. Let's see. Shout out to Jay Violet. We got Crypto Naughty in the chat. Jesse, what is going on? We got Mike McCarthy in the chat, said, I still hate XRP. I wouldn't touch it. Shout out to you, bro. I'm just glad XRP finally moved. But yeah, you got to watch those doorways to higher prices, guys, because they do oftentimes open the door to higher prices. But shout out to Jason Casper. Thank you for the super chat, bro. Welcome in. Thank you for being here, bro. I appreciate you. He said XRP haters aren't quiet. I'm an XRP hater, loud and proud. Shout out to Jason. Hey, let's go. I'll be honest, guys. And shout out to Jason. I wouldn't be surprised if this was kind of your outlook as well. I know a lot of people don't love XRP. I know a lot of people don't love it, but I don't know. I don't know if I think it's gonna pump. I'm gonna take advantage of it. But yeah, I'm not really a Yeah, I mean, I just like XRP because I think it's going to pump. That's all. But yeah, I know XRP is kind of like controversial. You're either like diehard XRP fan or you're an absolute XRP hater. I kind of fall in the middle. I'm just like, hey, I just care about the chart. I don't really necessarily care about the project that much. But yeah, shout out to Jason. Thank you for being here, bro. I appreciate you for stopping by and hanging out with the CandleMafia. But yeah, we'll see what happens to XRP, guys. I mean, I'll be honest. We'll jump into the charts in just a second, but as we were tapping on that doorway to higher prices, it did seem like at least that 83-cent mark was going to get hit. And we'll go over it in just a minute. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I mean, is XRP going to make a new all-time high? It didn't in the last cycle, obviously being bogged down by the SEC. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Shout out to Wick589 said XRP hate is old school, back to when folks wanted institutions to stay out of crypto. Now they're begging for BlackRock to buy more Bitcoin. Irony isn't lost. Yeah, shout out to Wick. That's kind of what I've been saying like forever, right? It's like nobody wants institutions to get involved in crypto, but like you kind of need it to get that next step up. And now the problem with that is obviously you need that big money to come in, which comes with kind of letting the demons in. So it's kind of like a little bit of a sticky situation. It's like you kind of need them, but then you're kind of letting the devil in, and it's I don't know. It's the same thing with regulation, right? Like when regulation comes in, or when we were talking about that in the bear market, it's like, yeah, this is probably going to be bad short term for Bitcoin, when all the regulation happens. But it's also like what we need. We need more regulatory clarity to really see the institutions come in, right? Because obviously institutions have actual obligations to their clients. So they can't just like invest in like unregulated assets. So it's kind of a weird thing. It's kind of a weird thing. If we really want Bitcoin to go to $1 million, we're kind of need regulation. We're going to kind of need those institutions to come in. But again, it comes with letting those demons in, guys. But yeah, shout out if you're holding XRP, whether you love it or hate it. If you're holding it, you're up, hopefully, from where you bought, which is like it seems like it's taken forever. But yeah, hopefully you're up. Hopefully your bags are pumped, guys. XRP to 137. Shout out to Bartesk. I don't know if I said that right. $1.37 or 137. Let me know what let me know what you think in the chat. But yeah, shout out to Crypto Naughty. We got Jesse in the chat. We got Ash. What is going on, Brett? Said, yo, fam, what's good, Frankie? Shout out to Ash. Welcome in. We got Gen Z in the chat. And last but not least, guys, we got Rob the Crypto Snob. Darren does things. Crypto Anon. I know Anon's happy right now. Let's go. Shout out to Crypto Anon, Crypto Billy, Rob the Crypto Snob, Tyler Durden. You guys know who the mods are. Show them some love in the chat. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into the charts. Let's go. So here we are, guys. on the Cardano chart. I don't know why, but let's go over to the Bitcoin chart and take a look at what we got going on here. So obviously, guys, yesterday we were looking at a very key level of resistance. We were actually looking at 2 key levels of resistance. Number one, we were looking at this local golden pocket retracement as we were, I think this is where we were during the live stream, just kind of hitting our head on that 786 golden pocket. Looking at, if we are going to continue this downtrend, why did we think that maybe a downtrend could continue? Simply put, we had some higher time frame bearish divergences. We had that 4-hour bear div. We also had the daily red dot looking to print here. I'll turn off the TA so it doesn't look so confusing. You got the daily red dot. You got the 4-hour bearish divergence, higher highs on our price action, lower highs on our momentum waves. And that was kind of what we were looking at yesterday. In the premium Discord, looking for that potential push to the downside. And then yesterday during the live stream, as we were getting this little retracement, we were saying, hey, if we're going to come in here and the 4-hour bear div is going to continue us down, if we're going to see some of these money flow crossovers, such as, we had the 1-hour money flow coming out. We had many money flows coming out on the lower time frames. If we were going to see that happen, we were going to anticipate the continuation of that downtrend. And when you continue a downtrend, guys, you got to put in a low and a lower high before putting in that lower low. And where were we looking for those lower highs? Very simply put, we were looking at those Fibonacci retracement levels. First, this local one, which we were kind of hung up on yesterday, bing-bonged around, came back down, and then we got, that bigger bounce into the second level, which was sitting right here. And the reason why this level was a little bit more interesting to me was because if we took yesterday when we took a look, let me see if I can pull this up. Yesterday when we took a look at the liquidation levels, we noticed that there were quite a bit of liquidations sitting up there right into that Fibonacci retracement. So we know that those liquidation levels are not only going to act as a magnet for price, but could also give us an opportunity to look for price to come into that Fibonacci retracement. I almost said extension. Fibonacci retracement, look for those bearish confirmations for a bigger drop to the downside. And again, a continuation down, breaking that structure to the downside. And I will say this, guys. We came up into this fib level and we got some really, I was looking for one confirmation specifically, and that was bearish CVD, and we did wind up getting that beautifully as we came up in here and washed out these long positions. And I will say, guys, with all of the, obviously Bitcoin is much more volatile than it has been recently, like even with the little moves giving us, even with these like little ups and downs giving us, 5-6% moves, very, very volatile, big pumps up, big pumps down, or big dumps down, I guess. But we're getting these kind of saucy, punchy moves. And, the liquidation charts are absolutely slapping right now. Not only were we able to see that price could get gravitated up here to get that retracement to continue down based off the liquidations, we were also looking at this move to the downside yesterday and anticipating that based off these liquidations sitting, right? And these liquidity levels act as magnets for price. And when we're hovering up here and we see all that liquidity sitting below, we know if we come down and start tapping into these, it could absolutely wreck all these longs, giving us an extra little push to the downside. And we're seeing this absolutely beautifully. Even up here, we came up, sweep of those shorts, and then we wind up getting that bigger move down. And I do just want to point out right now on the liquidation levels, it's kind of hard, right? Because we kind of just have everybody longing, everybody shorting. There's a lot more volume now. Everybody's kind of just, getting out there and trading. So, we do have this liquidity sitting above here. Got a big spike in liquidity sitting at about, let me get the price for you guys. Sitting at about $90,000. Is that $968? Almost $91K. So, that we do have a lot of short liquidations up here. But to be quite honest, guys, there is a ton of liquidity sitting down here. So, again, if we do see this money flow continue to the downside, on the 1 hour, crossing over into the red, if we get that trend to continue, we could potentially see a bigger move down. And I'm going to talk about these key levels of support down below. But we may just want to go kind of take out some of those liquidations that we have sitting below, wreck all those longs. Nobody gets away scot-free in this market, guys. They like to wreck as many people as possible. So we just understand we do have a lot of we have liquidity above as well as below, but there is a lot below. And the way money flow looks right now, looks like we could potentially get a little bit more of a continuation. Remember, guys, the money flow indicates the longer-term trend. So, it doesn't mean that we can't bounce here. It doesn't mean that we can't look for longs down here. But it means as long as that money flow continues out or crosses into the red, we could potentially anticipate exactly what we were looking for yesterday. Lackluster push to the upside to put that lower high right into our key level. Look for the confirmations. And again, we don't give the confirmations here on the live stream. We do that in the premium Discord. I let everyone know exactly what I'm looking at for each individual trade because the confirmations do change based off of kind of what's on the chart. But come right into that key level. We sweep that liquidity. We get the bearish confirmations. We get the next push to the downside. And now The question is that continuation down going to happen? Well, as long as that money flow stays in the red, we could potentially anticipate lower highs and lower lows. Now, the one caveat here, guys, is when we are in the middle of a huge run like this in a bull market, sometimes that money flow doesn't like to go into the red too much. Sometimes it fakes out. Sometimes it just comes right back up, right? So we are in an interesting point in the market here where we're kind of like ready to rip. We are already ripping. And, it is probably starting to get to that point where money flow will start to spend much more time in the green than the red, right? When we go sideways, we can kind of anticipate a wave in the red, a wave in the green, wave in the red, wave in the green, wave in the red. But once you start really ripping, sometimes the money flow will stick up here for a while, and maybe I could even go back in time to a previous bull market here. If I go into bar replay mode real quick, when you're in that big uptrend, typically I'll come down to a lower time frame just to kind of give it, like, you can see this 4-hour money flow, like, came up, it came down, it came back up, right? And, like, you don't, even when you come into the red, you don't really stick around too much. You just kind of come down, and then you bing bong right back up, making higher lows and continuing higher. So just keep that in mind. When we're in a bull market, you got to be more conservative with those shorts and more greedy with the longs. That's how I'm handling it. But with that being said, I do actually, it is kind of crazy, guys, because I was actually looking at something last night. And before we move on to those key levels of support down below, I do just want to kind of point out the, kind of bottoming structure that we created here before breaking this all-time high. And this is just the chart nerd in me, guys. This is just the chart nerd in me. And thankfully, being a chart nerd kind of has rewards, right? Because you could use that information to make money. But I will just say, shout out to 3 Diglets said, I'm scared, baby. I'm scared. Shout out to 3 Diglets. Don't be scared, bro. I will help you. Thank you for the super chat. I'll hopefully try and keep your worries down. We'll try to ease the fear here. So shout out to 3 Diglets. But just to kind of show this, guys, I was talking to Tony T last night. It really is crazy, right? If we just look at this, it's insane, right? Now, obviously, it's not going to be exactly the same. But as you guys know, when we take a look at our cycle chart, which I show constantly on the channel here, if we come on over to the Bitstamp, go over to the weekly, you guys can see we've been comparing this a lot recently. When it comes to the 4-year cycle, when it comes from to where are we expecting that big pump, you guys know we've kind of been looking like you had the halving here in 2020. We wiggled sideways for about 168, 180 days, right? And then finally at the end of October, in the beginning of November, was is when we wound up seeing that big move to the upside. And we were measuring that over here, saying, well, hey, we got that halving happening, right? And we're kind of going sideways for an immense amount of time, right? Over 160 days, I guess, not really even technically, but almost the exact same amount of time. And we talked about how, hey, if we're gonna see the 4-year cycle play out, like, there is no better time than now to break out of here after a 7-month consolidation. And we wound up seeing that. But I just want to show this really quickly, guys. And I know it is a little bit different, but something that we look at a lot here is you have the all-time high in 2017 before the big bear market, right? You get that last little washout, you get your bottoming structure here, and then you get the 2019 fake-out rally. Where did this bring you? This brought you into a macro golden pocket retracement from the high to the low. We got the bear market rally into that golden pocket. Now, we always say the 4-year cycle repeats, or doesn't always repeat, but it oftentimes, history doesn't always repeat, but it oftentimes rhymes, right? And what do we see happen this cycle? And this is like a big reason why we were looking, once we broke 30K, we were looking for a move up to 48 to 50K. And it had to do with the fact that if we were going to get some kind of a rally, we were looking for it to come into that golden pocket 786 retracement. Now, obviously, we did put a new all-time high in before the halving, which kind of, it's not going to be exactly the same. But if you kind of compare these, right, you have the bottom of the bear market rally into the golden pocket 786. You have the bottom of the bear market, right? That one last washout, that bottoming structure, bear market rally into the golden pocket. But we wound, and again, this is kind of what was different, right? We broke above the 786. You're not expecting it to be exactly the same, but you break above the 786. But what I want to show you here that is super, super interesting is the actual bottoming structures that we made before cracking the all-time high in both 2021 or 2020 technically into what we have right here. And if you kind of just look at this, I'm going to pull up I'll just grab the let me just grab the bars pattern of this just so I can kind of compare this for you guys. So you're going to be like, what the heck is going on here, man? We live in a simulation. But if we just pull this, guys, it's like the same exact type of structure. If we pull these bar patterns, I'm going to pull it from the bear market rally high all the way to, right where we started breaking out. Right? And we're going to drag this over here, and obviously we're going to have to resize it and all that stuff to make it fit. But I want you guys to notice, Basically, the same exact thing happened. Again, this is all hindsight. I'm not trying to act like we were looking at this before. But it's like you have the all-time high, and then as you are about to approach and break that all-time high, you're looking at this same kind of bottoming structure, and it's like almost exactly the same here, right? And if I just resize it a little bit, right? We'll just make it a little bit smaller so it kind of fits. You can just see how close this is, guys. You go. You're just making this rounded bottoming structure, and again, let me just resize it so it kind of fits here. But you guys could just see this, right? And again, like I wouldn't like necessarily trade based off this, but I would kind of take this into account, right? You have the kind of start of the range, right? You go sideways, you get a little pump, you get the little dump, you get the rounded pump, that big washout. This was C19, but this I believe was that the Japanese thing, right? You get that big washout. It's like almost the same exact bottoming structure, right? It's like literally almost the exact same thing, and then we come up and boom, we break out. And not only was it the same structure, it was literally on the exact same timing, almost the exact same timing, right? And again, it's a little different, right? We made the all-time high here, so it looks a little different, but it's almost exactly the same thing. And again, you can't expect history to repeat. It's going to rhyme, though, more often than not. And I just wanted to show you guys that because this is super, super, super interesting how similar these cycles remain to be. It's insane. But let's go ahead and go back to this current price action because I want to talk about, guys, if we get that bigger push to the downside, where can we look for price to go? And the simple answer is it's going to zero, guys. It's going to zero. I'm kidding. It's not going to zero, guys. But yeah, locally, guys, we have this volume profile. And honestly, yesterday on the live stream, we were just looking for a push up here, potential bearish confirmations, and then once we broke back down, we were going to use this value area as our key zone to look at where price is likely going to go next, right? You break back into the range, you reject, you're looking to go back down to the POC and the value area low, right? It's exactly what happened. We came down, we bounced off the POC, got accepted into the range, and now we're on our way down to the value area low. So key level number one is simply going to be the value area low sitting, excuse me, oh my God, I just chugged a bunch of Aztec and Cactus Moss Water, guys. But yeah, coming in at $86,782, right? That's kind of the value area low. We also have a golden pocket retracement up here as well. I will pull that. Let me just pull that real quick. Bada boom, from the low to the high. You have a golden pocket sitting right down there as well. So this is going to be kind of that first bigger zone of support that we would likely want to hold. Now, are we going to hold this? I'll be honest, Market Cypher B is saying probably not, right? Market Cypher B, money flow is coming out, right? Market Cypher B is probably saying something like this, right? Lower high, and then break out of the range, go for that 786 at 84.1, and then potentially lose that for this bigger zone, which is sitting at about $82,000. Now, the reason I actually do like the $82,000 level a little bit better is because that allows us, if we do wind up coming down and we start flushing out these liquidations, guys, it could lead us right down to about $81,000. So all that liquidity that is sitting between this golden pocket and this golden pocket, if we start pushing down, and again, money flow could be pointing in this direction. If we come down and we start cracking into those liquidations, which let me actually just get the number of where they start. 85.3 is kind of where they start here. So 85.3, we start losing this golden pocket. You could start taking those liquidations. 786 could potentially hold you up, but at that point, you're probably going to start getting some aggressive pushes down through those liquidations, maybe leading us into that golden pocket where kind of all the liquidations start to fall off a little bit into that key level of support. So locally, am I going to be looking for longs down here? Potentially, but I would be looking at them as more of kind of scalp longs for a potential continuation down. And again, like I said, we're in a little bit of a weird situation in the market right now, guys, because in general, overall, I am favoring long positions right now based off the fact that we are in a big move to the upside. But when we see the money flow coming out like this, we can't ignore it. I may not take it as seriously as when we're in a just sideways range or if we're in a bear market. So you have to keep it in the back of your head that money flow is coming out. So you have to at least entertain the idea. Now, can we come up here, hold this support, and break up to new all-time highs? We're in a bull market, guys. That is definitely possible. But I cannot ignore this Market Cypher B money flow, right? And that would be necessary. That would specifically be calling for potential continuation down. And then you start to add on to that liquidity and the fact that we have this nice golden pocket sitting right here as well. And then also, if we pull up some daily naked points of controls, you can see we do have a daily naked point of control sitting just underneath this golden pocket as well. So if we do wind up continuing down here, we start to, liquidation into that golden pocket, daily naked point of control. This would probably be the bigger zone that I would be looking at for significant long positions, although this is local support as well. So, again, we're just kind of checking in from what we were looking at yesterday. Lower high came in exactly where we wanted it to, right? Came down into the range, stuck in here. This is the local range, right? We could easily bing bong around in here. This is an option that a lot of people, I think, don't talk about, right? We don't have to rip back up. We don't have to absolutely dump. We could potentially go sideways for a little bit here. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at. This volume profile, value area high at 89,430. That's your biggest key level of resistance, because if you want to get out of here and make a new all-time high, especially if you come down to the low first, if you want to come out here and just rip back up, you got to get above. This is your key level, because as long as you remain under this value area, right, even if you deviate, come back in, like this is the range I'm looking at. This is the range I will be trading. And then if you start to lose it, you just know, sure, you have your 786 here, but really you got all those liquidations, and this would be the saucier level. And this is coming in between about 82.5 and 81.8. So just keep that in mind. Those are the key levels I have on my chart. You're going to want to have these marked out on your chart as well. Now, hopefully we don't have to come down here. You know, everyone would love that. I would love that too. But again, you know, if we start breaking out of here and we start dumping, I don't want people to think like, oh my God, we're dumping. What's happening? It's all over. I want you to understand why we're dumping, right? Because, again, if we start breaking below that 85.3 level, right, or what was it, 84.3, I think it's 85, we start breaking into these levels, right, those liquidations can give you that quick move down. Why does it give you the quick move down? Simply put, when you get stopped out of a long position, it's going to create market buys, right? So if I just pull up the long positions here, right, like people who were FOMO longing, right? People who were just like, oh my God, big rip up, we're going to $1 bazillion, I want to get rich overnight, right? Where are they entering their longs? They're entering their longs here. And when you enter your longs here, guys, where does your stop loss have to go? Well, if you wanted a sound stop loss, you would want to put it below a significant swing low, right? But some people, either way, whether they're below here or people are just setting them, you know, whatever, their liquidation levels are all going to be left behind like little trails, right? And what does that do? That puts a ton of liquidity. All these stop losses in here from everybody longing is going to create all that liquidity that we see on the heat map, right? Or not the heat map, but the liquidations here, right? This is what we see. Everybody longing, their stop losses and liquidation levels are going to be left behind, right? So when we start pushing into those long positions, when they close or when they get stopped out or liquidated, it creates market sell pressure. So once you come down and you start stopping these people out, it gives you that cascade of a push down. And it can get very scary if you don't understand what you're looking at, right? So it's like, oh my God, why are we dumping so fast? What's going on, right? But oftentimes it's due to these liquidations. And what could be very helpful is knowing where to be looking for the bounces, right? So we could say, hey, if we get down here and we start getting huge liquidations, price starts pushing down. And remember, a lot of times when you get these pumps, this is also very confluent. This is what we looked at yesterday as well. When you pull up the visible range volume profile, when you see these big moves to the upside, oftentimes there's a pretty big gap in volume, right? And this is what we looked at yesterday with the high volume nodes sitting up here and pretty much down here, right? Like other than that, you have a little spike in volume at that 786, right? So that is something I would look at. But, oh, come on. I just wanted to clean up the chart here, and it took off the VPVR. Let me pull that back. So you have that gap, right? So not only would you expect to move down because liquidation levels are getting hit, and it's going to add that once those longs get wrecked, it's going to cause a big push to the downside, but you also have this gap here, meaning there's not much holding you up. Just like there was nothing holding us back, we kind of just ripped through because this was basically price discovery, or it was price discovery. When you come back down, there's not a lot of support built in here, so you could easily fall through that gap. Price likes to gravitate and stick to these high volume nodes, right? You can see we get a move up, you start trading a lot of volume up here, it creates a high volume node. So now this will act as a magnet, this will act as a magnet, but these, oftentimes you fly right through them. So just keep that in mind. And again, your 786 is a level I'd watch at about 84.1. But again, not as strong as this golden pocket daily naked point of control down here. So we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, I mean, looking for the rejection here. See if we can get that continuation down. That would be absolutely beautiful. But got to play this level by level right now, guys, because all it takes is one big rip to the upside, and she can start moving again. But again, market cipher B, I have to say, from a technical standpoint, right, other than hashtag bull market, from a technical perspective, at least looking at market cipher, you know, traditionally, right, we're still doing good here. We haven't broken any major market structure. You know, things are still looking pretty bullish, right? But as far as market cipher goes, a lot of times this money flow can indicate what is coming next, and this money flow is coming out, indicating the continuation of the trend to the downside. So keep that in mind. But the way I'm playing this, guys, my chair is sinking here. She's been such a good girl lately. She's been a good girl lately, guys, but she just keeps sinking. But yeah. That's what I'm looking at here, and we'll see, right? We'll see. The TA, the one beautiful thing here, guys, is although we're in price discovery, although things are very volatile, although the liquidations are really starting to heat up here, right? We're getting a lot more liquidity, and price is obviously pumping and dumping to these levels. But I will say, Bitcoin's trading very technically. When we look at when we look at just a bare bones chart here, Let me hide this. This is Moon Mission. We'll hide that Moon Mission. But, you know, when you're just looking at this, right, from a technical perspective, Bitcoin is trading extremely technically. And if you watched the live stream yesterday, you know exactly why, right, or exactly how. We get the move down. You're looking for the lower high. Why? Because you had your money flow coming out, right? Money flow is crossing into the red on the 45-minute, starting to come out here, right? And what are you going to be looking for? That is making you think that maybe it's going to be a little bit more likely to get a lackluster move to the upside because money flows in the red to put in a lower high and a continuation to the downside, right? Continuing that trend. The money flow indicates the trend, not the ups and downs. A lot of people get confused by that. They'll think, well, hey, no, now we're pumping, we're bullish, right? Like, you got to understand the context. And if you're looking for a lower high to come in here, we talk about this all the time. Where's that high likelihood of a lower high? Where's that high probability area for a lower high? Between that golden pocket 786. And then we got those bearish confirmations, and you get the drop to the downside. And we're continuing to push down. All right, exactly what we were looking at yesterday. Not to brag that, oh my God, look, it played out like we thought it was gonna. But just to show you guys that this is technical, right? It's exactly, I did not invent looking for retracements at a golden pocket 786, right? I did not invent this. This is like, a lot of people do this. So, this is, it's just trading absolutely beautifully from a technical perspective. So, although it's getting crazy, the TA is still playing out pretty well here. So, yeah, I have to keep that money flow in mind. But yeah, we'll see. We can get the drop down. 81 to 82K is really that next big level, right? Hopefully, we don't have to go down there, but it does look, as far as market cipher goes, that it could be at least an option on the table. Now, not only do we have the golden pocket, daily naked point of control, as well as another daily naked point of control right on that 786, I do want to pull up a... Where is it? I believe it's this. Yeah, we also have this naked volume profile sitting down there as well, right? So it's going to be kind of hard, right? You have to reassess the situation if we get there, right? So let's say we get the bigger dump, right? Bada boom, bada bing. Are we getting the bullish confirmations here for another massive move up? Maybe. If we are, we will take the long. However, if we continue down, maybe we wick down here. Again, this would be a huge key level sitting at between about 80,000 and 80,079,473, and then you have your value area high here at about 81K. So like this whole area, these are the levels. If you guys want to screenshot these levels and put them on your chart, I highly recommend it because if we get the bigger move down, this is where I'm looking. So keep that in mind. That's what I'm going to be looking at as far as the move to the downside. Now, if we get the move up, very simply put, where are we going to be looking? We're just going to keep trying to fly up to these Fibonacci extension levels, right? We got the 96,459 sitting up here, and they have been working out pretty well for us here, right? It's hard to find those imaginary fib levels above, but it looks like they are playing out pretty well. So if we do get another push to the upside, 96.5 is going to be the next level. 98,172 is kind of that next zone of resistance. But again, money flow is kind of pointing more towards that to happen. So we'll see what happens. But that's what we're looking at, guys. We are so dang close to 100K, guys. Bitcoin's at $87,000. You know, it's almost like it's not that I can't believe it, but it's like, I don't know, we've waited so long for Bitcoin to be at these numbers that, like, it didn't even really hit me until yesterday. I'm, like, looking at my chart, and I'm, like, doing something on my other monitor, and I look over, and I just see the TradingView numbers, and Bitcoin was at, like, 90K. And I was like, this number on TradingView says $90,000 for Bitcoin. It's crazy. Like, one day, this number's probably going to say $1 million, right? I'm not saying tomorrow or this cycle or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, one day this is going to say $300,000. And we're going to remember back when, oh, my God, it feels like yesterday that Bitcoin was 20K. It's insane, guys. Like, step back and see where we came from. Bitcoin's at $87,000. It's insane. I think I'm just like, I do this so much that it just becomes like candles and numbers on a chart for me. But, like, I can't believe Bitcoin's at almost $90,000. It's insane. It's insane. It's very validating as, you know, most of the time crypto people are kind of like the contrarians, right? Like, usually people are like, oh, like, how's that crypto thing going, right? And it's like, it's going. I'll never forget, guys. In the last bear market, it's like, and you can't blame people, right? Because it's it's normal because people care about you, right? And they're just like, oh man, like, how's crypto doing? Like, I hope you're all right, man. Like, I saw it's crashing, and I'm like, yeah, we knew it was gonna crash. I'm making money on the crash. Like, we're shorting the heck out of this thing. What do you mean? Like, crypto doesn't have to pump for me to make money. But they always just think like, oh, I hope you're okay, man. Like, you probably should have just, done something normal. I mean, you picked this super risky thing, and it's like, no, we're like, we understand this is a bear market, and just wait. This thing's gonna rip up again. People are like, I don't know, man. It went down to 15K. You really think this is gonna go back up to $90,000, $100,000? And it's like, of course I do. What do you mean? What do you mean? Have some trust in Satoshi. It's insane, though. It's absolutely, I cannot believe we're at these numbers. But let's continue on. Let's see. Yo, shout out to JJ says, I saw a TA video from 2 years ago, and Bitcoin was at 24K. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I can't believe. Again, like one day this is going to say $400,000. Like one day. I'm not trying to say when, right? But like it's going to say 100K probably soon, right? Like it's insane. There's going to be it's going to be 6 figures on here. Insane, guys. Insane. Welcome to the bull market, baby. Welcome to the bull market. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Unless we buy and link, then it's acceptable. Oh, shout out to RMT. Says, we know take profits on BTC. We never take profits on BTC ever, ever, ever. Well, how is it going to pump if we start taking our money out, guys? Come on. You got to think. You got to keep your money in if you want it to keep going up, right? If everyone starts pulling out, it's going to go down. I'm just kidding. Shout out to RMT. But let's see. Yo, shout out to Index. You were correct about Caspa, sir. Shout out to Index. We'll take a look at Caspa in just a second. But one thing I do want to cover, guys, real quick. We're going to get into the altcoins. We will keep an eye on Bitcoin here locally. I want to get into the altcoins, guys. But we got to start with XRP. Mafia, put the target in the chat if you remember our first target for XRP if we broke above that doorway to higher prices, guys. And I actually, hang on. Do I still have the video up? I clipped it because I don't want anyone, if you're new here, I don't want you guys to think that we're just calling this like we said we called it, right? I want to show you that we actually do this, right? We actually do this. Here's a clip from the live stream the other day. What happened? What just happened? I just lost everything. Hang on. Technical difficulties, guys. Here's a clip from the live stream. And if you saw my altcoin market update the other day, guys, if not, go watch that. That information is still relevant. Go check that video out. But I even talked about this in that video. But here is a clip of what we were talking about on XRP. I hope you guys can hear this. Gonna tap its head on that door, which is that 62-cent level. I can't hear it. Where we at here? Bada boom, bada bing, right? Tapping its head on that doorway to higher prices. Now, XRP's already broken this level, gone to the POC, back down. Break the level. Oh, I'm gonna pump. Nah. Nah, I'm gonna pump. Nah. I'm gonna pump. I'm gonna pump. Nah, I'm gonna pump. Nah. Once we get up here and we hold that support, guys, that is the level to break. Right here. Doorway to higher prices. Like, dang, man. If you were just trading the doorways to higher prices, guys, there could be a lot of money to be made here. 62 cents. Get above here, hold it as support. That's your ticket to fill the rest of the volume profile. Potentially up to 83 to $1.21. Potentially up to 83 to $1.21, guys, or $1.21. Guys, why is that, right? It's not because I'm magic. It's not because I have some secret crystal ball. I don't have a crystal ball. But no, for real, guys, I'm being serious. This is not because I'm some special person, right? We talk about this we talked about this forever, right? Honestly, we've been talking about this probably for too long. Every time we get up to this level, it's like, are we going to go for the POC? Are we going to go to the POC? And here we are looking at XRP, tapping on that doorway to higher prices. Just like I said in that clip, there's tons of money to be had if you could trade these doorways to higher prices, whether you're buying on spot, leverage trading, whatever you're doing here. We know that when we break above this level, it's going to open the door to where? The POC of the range, sitting here at 83 cents. Where did XRP go? Right to 83 cents, right? And that's where we're getting the rejection from right now. Absolutely beautiful to finally see that play out. And hopefully, I know I show these like almost an example of the volume profiles being perfect almost every single stream. Again, not bragging that I'm right, literally bragging for the type of analysis we're doing. You can do this too. You don't need me. I can teach you how to do this on your own, right? But when we look at this, absolutely beautiful. Once we get above that level and we flip it to support, we can look to create that journey up into the POC. Absolutely beautiful. And here we are getting a pretty heavy pullback, right? But very nice to see XRP start to move. So very simply put, guys, it is the same thing moving forward. If we break above that POC, my targets remain in the same spot. We came up here. Maybe you're going to get a little bit of turbulence. Obviously, the POC is a key level of resistance. But once we flip that POC, looking up towards that value area high. And just like we said, can we see an 83-cent XRP soon? I think so. I'm going to say, can we see, if we get up here, will we be able to see a $1.21 XRP very soon? Yes, I do, if we can get above that POC and hold it as support, right? It's not always like Dogecoin, right? This was another thing that we were looking at recently on the channel, or recently on the live streams, coming up and tapping that doorway to higher prices. Once we break that level, we look to go to the POC, which looks like it got melted through, but it didn't, right? We got up here, flipped it to support, and we look to go up to the value area high. And now we're potentially getting rejected back into the range. But just like we looked at this, it's the same thing on XRP. It's the same thing on everything that we look at. Now, obviously, you need to know where the range is being pulled from, how to pull the range, what to look for, all that good stuff. But this is an example of the value area low, flipping to support, and then basically getting an immediate move to the POC, flip it to support, immediate move to the value area high. It's not always that clean, right? So although I would love that on XRP, I would love that move up here, and then a flip of the POC and just an immediate move up to $1.21. It's not necessarily guaranteed, right? Typically, it is going to be more of a journey, right? You kind of wiggle around, get back up here, and then you get the bigger move to the value area high. The problem here is with XRP, it doesn't even really love coming into this range. Let me close some of this stuff, guys, because I am... There we go. It doesn't really love this range. Every time we come in here, we get smacked out of it. Even when we ripped up here, smacked out, smacked out, smacked out, smacked out, smacked out. But it is nice to finally see that target tapped, guys. Absolutely insane. But yeah, one of the other things that we looked at, guys, because you could use this on other altcoins. What was the other thing we looked at in that live stream? It was the 10-hour money flow crossover into the green with the weekly green dot that was printing. And we said going into the weekend, I believe it was, right? On Friday, was this Friday? Yeah, Friday, we were saying, hey, if that money flow crossover on the 10-hour occurs with the weekly green dot, we are going to anticipate to potentially get up there and flip it. I think I said it in that clip, actually. But looking for that move up to the POC. That could be one of those kind of confirmations you can look for to potentially see that continuation up. And what happens? You get the money flow crossover, the weekly green dot confirms, and we rip right up to that level. Use this information on whatever altcoins you're using, right, or trading or looking at, and try to apply it. It will help you a lot, I promise. But there we go. So for XRP, I mean, pretty simple. POC at 83 or 82.50 technically, I would call it 83 cents, is the next key level of resistance. Key level of support, I mean, generally 62 cents. If we come back down here, guys, oh, God, I hope we bounce, because if we don't, it might just be another one of these false breakouts, which would be absolutely miserable. But I will say, if XRP is going to go, there's no better time than now, right? It's a better time than back here. It's a better time than here. There's a better time than here. It's a better time than here, right? Like, if we're going to go, this is the time. If we come back down, I don't know. I might just sell all my XRP at break even and just go put it somewhere else. I'm kidding, guys. I probably won't do that. I'll probably just hold it. But there you go. That's what we're looking at. Other than that, could we see some low time frame volatility potentially? 4-day VWAP pretty overextended there. But for the most part, guys, fresh 8-hour green dot, 30-minute money flow has been in the green for a while. Yeah, I would just expect some turbulence here. But overall, not looking too bad for XRP. As long as we can hold above this value area low, hopefully we can just break out of here. And then hopefully and eventually we can start to rip out of here to some of those more exciting targets. And I know someone said 100 and something for XRP. I am not expecting 100 and something for XRP. The market cap would have to be ridiculous. I don't know exactly what the market cap would have to be. I could do the math here in a minute. But it would have to be insane, right? If we get above here, I'm looking for $1.21. If we get above here, I'm looking at $1.60 up to about $2.52. If we get above here into price discovery, these are my realistic targets. Not try to get as many views on YouTube targets. My actual realistic targets that I think are actually possible. Between $5 and $14 is where I will be looking. I will not be holding my XRP waiting for $14. I will be taking profits along the way. It's how you make money in crypto, guys. Most people, it's not hard to make money it's not hard to make gains in crypto. It is hard to make money, right? Most people, think about all your crypto friends, right? Think about all the people that were in crypto. I'm sure you probably know a few people who actually made money and changed their life. But when you're in the middle of a bull market, there's a lot of people that are like, everyone's like, oh my God, look at my portfolio. Oh my God, look, this altcoin ripped. Oh my God, I'm up this much over. I just made $10,000 today, right? How many of those people actually made money and changed their life, right? A lot of them just held it back down to zero. At least a ton of the ones that I knew, right? So keep that in mind. You have to take profits along the way. You'd rather take partial profits, say on XRP, right? Let's say you get the $5, you take partials off the table, right? Let's say your entry level was down here. Partials off the table, right? And then it goes up to $8.50. You take more off the table, right? Now you're making money, right? And now you're hoping for $14, but you only get to $10.75. And then it dumps, right? You go into another bear market. You're going to be so much happier that you made some of this money rather than just holding it all for $14 and then just holding it brutally to the bottom. And if you've been in crypto for at least one cycle, you know that it seems so easy. If you're new to crypto, if this is your first cycle in crypto, it's very easy to be like, yeah, no, but I'm not going to do that. That's what stupid people do. Wait until your phone or your portfolio says a number that you couldn't even fathom you would be able to have in a bank account, right? When you go from having whatever amount of money you have, and then looking at your phone and being like, oh my God, I did not know you could make that much money that fast. Wait until that happens, and wait until you're in the heat of the moment, and you'll realize how difficult it actually is. Everybody thinks, oh yeah, I thought this when I got into trading, right? I was like, oh yeah, everyone says you got to take profits. You got to make sure you have good risk management. Like, they don't know what they're doing though. I'm new. I'm just starting here. Like, trust me, these idiots, I'll figure this out. Slapped in the face, humbled by the market in 2 seconds, guys. So just remember that. If you're new here, it's your first cycle, you're going to see those big numbers. You're going to make a lot of money. You're going to have all those numbers on your phone. Just understand that is not your money. The money is the money you actually take profit from, right? The profit that you actually take, that's your money. Not what it says on your phone. Not what is in your MetaMask. You have to sell it to make the money because very quickly it will leave you. And it's almost impossible to describe or explain how slippery that slope is until you actually go through it. But I've gone through it. Many people in this chat, I know the Mafia members that were in last cycle went through this. Please, for the love of God, take it from people who have already gone through it. Learn from my mistakes. Don't let my mistakes go to waste, guys. Learn from me and benefit from yourself. So there you go. And by the way, guys, if you want to see some of your favorite altcoins, drop them in the chat. Rob, let's do 3 requests, and we'll take a look. I'm going to go ahead and check out Kaspa in just a second because I forget who said it, but somebody said Kaspa was we nailed Kaspa yesterday. But let's see. All right, let's see here. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, welcome all 1,570 of you. Happy to have you. You're now with one of the best trading communities. Smash that like button so you guys win more tomorrow. Yeah, shout out to Tony. I forgot tomorrow's Friday. Oh, my God, guys. The bull market's making time go so fast, guys. Oh, my, I don't want – it's like before we know it, guys, the bull market's going to be, like, over. So get ready, guys. But there's so much opportunity to be had. This is probably going to be one of the, maybe if not the biggest life-changing financial opportunity that anybody is going to have right now in their lifetime. Me, you, whether you're 20, 40, maybe some of the youngsters, maybe some 18. If you're 18, you're watching me right now. First of all, pat yourself on the back because we'll get you out of that. We'll get you out of the scam that is reality. Yeah, just oh my God, the altcoins are coming in like crazy. But yeah, let's take a look at Kaspa here. But just know that, guys, you is going to be one of the biggest life-changing financial opportunities you can ever have. Insane. Trust me. It's like you don't believe it until you get involved. I said it in the altcoin update. I said get involved in the crypto party because if you show up late, the cops are going to come and shut it down right when you get there. And you don't want to be those people, right? Back here, right? If you guys have been in crypto, right? My first cycle was in 2016, right? So I got in... Right, where is it? 2016. Yeah, I got in like right here. This was my first cycle in crypto, right? It's like right at the end of 2016 is when I got in, right? Started getting buzz. I started hearing about it, and I was like, I wonder if crypto charts they work just as well as regular charts, right? Here's the party getting started. Right? Oh, my God, the party's getting started. A ton of people, a lot of retail gets involved here. More retail gets involved here. And then people show up late to the party, and they're like, oh, my God, my barber just told me he made $700,000 on an altcoin, and then they're like, oh, should I buy? And then the cops show up, and they shut it down, and then everybody's got to go home, right? So just don't be those people. You guys are early, right? And it doesn't have to be on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin has already gotten a massive move. Let's say Bitcoin goes to 150K. Let's say Bitcoin goes to 200K. Just understand if you're buying Bitcoin up here, it's okay. It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's not going to go up. I'm saying 150% from here, 150K from here is about 80%. You make 80% on your money. That's not like getting in the beginning, right? Bitcoin's already up 4 or 5x, right? So understand that, if I were buying Bitcoin, this is, again, can we absolutely rip here? I do believe we are gonna, right? But just don't be late to the party here, and that's why I am saying, when I'm looking at altcoins, in my altcoin update, I talked about the things I was looking at, the things that looked undervalued, right? Like Bitcoin, sure, is Bitcoin undervalued here before it gets a bigger rip? Sure, right? But I accumulated my Bitcoin down here, right? So I'm letting this fly. I'm having fun with this. I am not buying Bitcoin here, right? Again, doesn't mean you can't make money, but the money that I have deployed that I wanted Bitcoin to make me money on, right? I deployed it here. All the altcoins and stuff, some of the altcoins are still low, guys. Some of the altcoins are still low, right? Some of them are still low, right? Chainlink already kind of got a rip here, but still kind of hovering low, right? TIA, our favorite, still hovering low. DOT, still hovering low here, right? So I'm gonna beat the dead horse on the alts because I've talked about this so much recently. But just understand, you're not late to the party, but maybe a little late to the Bitcoin party, to be honest. I'll be honest, guys. Like, I would not be like like if I did not own any Bitcoin here, I would not even be chasing this chart. Because I'm not looking, right? I don't want a 80% gain, right? I want 2x, 3x, 20x, 100x, 50x, 30x, right? And that's going to be had in the altcoins, obviously. But yeah, let's see. Personal request for Near and Dot. Tony D making a personal request. All right, we got to do it. Tony never makes requests. We got to help him out. We got to give the man what he wants. But let's go ahead and take a look at Kaspa, guys, because I'll be quite honest with you. I don't remember what I said yesterday, but apparently it was spot on. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Let me pull up. Was it the live stream chart? I assume it was. This is crazy, guys. It's crazy. Anyway, let's take a look. I don't think it was probably the MEXC chart. I got to start organizing all this stuff. All right, well, let's see here. Let's see. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. Was this the chart we were looking at? I don't even know. Shout out whoever said that we nailed Kaspa. Let me know what we were looking at, because I don't even know what chart we were looking at, to be quite honest with you. I don't know. It must have been that one. It must have been this. I don't know what we were looking at. Let's see. What was yesterday? Yesterday was the 14th. Yeah, today's the 14th. Yesterday was the 13th. Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know what the heck we were looking at. I really don't know. Let's see. Hey, shout out to Nathan. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate that. He says, so do you think DIA will explode? I could try to take a look at DIA for you. We'll take a look at it. I don't know if it'll explode, but we can take a look at the chart. Hey, shout out to Mike, my paisan. Mike E, what's going on, bro? He says, thank you for your hard work. You are always right on, it seems. Yo, shout out to you, bro. Guys, it's kind of annoying because I don't like coming up here and be like, we called it, right? Because it's like, honestly, in the trading space, like just in general, I think a lot of influencers say that, right? Like a broken clock is right twice a day, right? And that's not what we do here, right? Like we've been wrong about stuff. And when I'm wrong about something, I'm wrong about something, right? Like even today, we took a long in the premium Discord. It played out beautifully, but did not hit final TP, right? So that's me being wrong. I thought it was going to go maybe all the way up. You don't have to have 100% certainty in what's going to happen. That's something important to realize about trading. You don't have to have 100% certainty that a certain level is going to be hit if you're taking profits, if you're managing your risk. But yeah, shout out to Mike. He said, or I just remember the times when you're right. Can you look at Near? Yeah, we can take a look at Near for you, bro. Right on track with Tony. But yeah, it is everything is losing steam right now. Shout out to Kitty. Shout out to you, bro. But yeah, it's when we're right, we're right. When we're wrong, we're wrong. I can't hide that, right? I live stream. I've never deleted a live stream. I've only deleted one live stream, and that was a live stream where we got trolled pretty bad. We didn't want to get banned on YouTube because we got trolled so bad. But I've never deleted a live stream. I've never deleted a video because I was wrong, right? Like you could just, and especially if you tune in every night, right? Like if I say something's gonna go up and it doesn't go up, I can't say, oh, it went up. We said it was going up, right? Because everyone was here. Can't lie about it. So one good thing about YouTube is everything's recorded. But anyway, notice I said a good thing, not a bad thing, right? Because I don't care about being wrong because we understand, guys. That's one thing to understand. If you're in crypto, especially if you're getting into trading, no one's right 100% of the time. If someone's telling you they know where everything's going and they're just confidently saying they know every time, they're scamming you, right? Maybe not scamming you, but they're just lying to you. Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows 100% of the time. It's all about probabilities. But yeah, so for Kaspa, I wish I could tell you what we were looking at, but I'll be quite honest with you. I don't remember, and I don't want to say we called something if we didn't. So, but yeah, I mean, you're still just within your volume profile here, right? You go from the low up to the high. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe we went to the high and got the rejection. But no, that was on the 10th. I don't know what the heck we were looking at. But yeah, for the most part, I'll be honest with you. We're just within the range here, guys. If we break out, right, this is your key zone of resistance on Kaspa between 18 cents and 16 cents or 16.27, right? So if we break out of here, you got to flip that 786 to support and then get the bigger move up to your next Fibonacci extension, right, which is between 23 cents and 25 cents. Other than that, looking for this to get respected, maybe. It would be nice if you can get a pullback. I don't know if you're really at that point where you're going to get any significant, sometimes it gets to that point, guys. Like, here's the thing. Are you late to the party? I don't think so, right? Now, that's kind of subjective, right? Because, like, are you late to the party? Well, I mean, I guess if you wanted to buy Bitcoin at the bottom, you're late, right? Like, even if you wanted to buy Bitcoin at below 50K, you're late, right? But are you late to make money in crypto? Absolutely not. There's so much opportunity about to come into this market, guys. Gains you could not fathom. Pumps you could not fathom. Green candles that you've never seen before, right? That is coming. But I am not waiting for aggressive pullbacks like I once was, right? I'm okay buying stuff, right? Like for something like DOT. I'm actually happy. There goes DOT, baby. There goes DOT. Oh, no, never mind. I was on a high time frame. I thought we were just ripping there. But I guess actually kind of. But like things like Polkadot, guys, as we've been looking at Polkadot, did anybody want Polkadot? Let me see. Shout out to DC. Said Frankie's so modest compared to other YouTubers. Yeah, because I don't lie. That's pretty. I just tell it how it is. It's because I know it's gonna benefit the people more, right? Like I don't care. It's like, yeah, like I don't know. Like I can't tell you, right? I've been looking at XRP for years. I can't tell you, like on TikTok, right? If you're on TikTok, guys, XRP is huge on TikTok. And like these people, it's like, oh guys, like ever since all the way back here, they've been $100, $100, right? Because if you make a YouTube video and say XRP to $100, people are gonna click it regardless of if they know what they're talking about or not. All right, every time I see it, and I'm like, oh my God, like you got one pump, they're like, it's $100 coming by 2 weeks from now on Tuesday at 7 p.m. We're getting $100. And like, if you know what you're looking at, you know that nobody knows that. Like, no one can possibly know that. It's impossible, right? So it's just like, yeah, like I'm gonna tell you what is likely, right? Like it's all based off information, right? It's not based off how I feel, right? Like why did we look at XRP not only in the context that we just looked at it in, but also this local context, right? It's a simple volume profile, right? We break in, you look to go to the POC. If you hold the value area low as support, you look to go back to the POC and the value area high, and like these levels are all respected. Right? Not because I believe they were going to be respected, just because that's how TA works, right? And you're not going to be right 100% of the time. Like I said, like in the Discord here, I can pull up the scalp channel real quick, right? Like we were looking at this long position, right? And I just jumped in and said aggressive long position. Sometimes these are hard to get into the Discord on time just because they're so aggressive. It's like, hey, I'm in. Like, guys, I'm in. And then I got to explain why and everything. But these are just like small trades, right? And what we were looking for was, hey, we had a lot of liquidity up here. I'm looking to at least get a push up into this level. If we can break into those liquidations, we can expect an explosion, right, or a local explosion into this golden pocket, right? So was I 100% right here? Absolutely not. Was I kind of partially right? I guess kind of, right? Because what happened? We started pushing. Right, we started pushing, and we expect that liquidity to act as a magnet. We start to get sucked up towards that liquidity, right? And we're so close, so close, so close. And then we actually tapped that level, which was partially expected, so I was right about that. But was I right about it's not? You don't have to be right, right? It's an if this then that, right? You come up here. If we start to liquidate those short positions, then you could get the bigger push into that golden pocket. But what happens? You push into those liquidations. Got magnetized toward that level, so that was right, but we didn't fill it, right? And then it wound up dumping out, right? And then the dog fell, in the pool. It's what happens. Sometimes you fall in the pool. But that's okay, right? Because you don't need to know. You have to make decisions as the price action develops, right? You have to manage your risk. You can't lose your whole account if you wind up, hopefully you're at TP1 here, maybe move your stop loss to entry, but even if you get stopped out here, as long as you're taking a small loss, you can lose a ton of these trades in a row before it starts eating into your account significantly. So it's not about being right. It's not only is it not about being right, you can't be right 100% of the time, and you literally don't need to be right 100% of the time. You're not supposed to be right 100% of the time. You can't. That's not what you need to do to make money, right? You just have to understand how to manage risk, understand how the market moves, and actually take profits, whether you're trading or long-term investing. Very important to realize. Shout out to Mardash. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, thank you for the info every day. Shout out to Mardash. Yeah, we're here every single weekday, guys. And I'm here giving you no BS, straight-up information. And is it going to be right 100% of the time? No. Is it right a lot of the time? Sometimes where people think it's right all the time? Maybe. But yeah, I'm never gonna come up here and be like, guys, DOT is going to 0 because I think DOT's going to 0, right? The charts don't say it. I don't say it. But the charts are wrong sometimes. But anyway, let's continue on here. Let's take a look at NEAR real quick. Actually, we'll start with let's take a look at NEAR. Then we'll go to Ethereum real quick. Shout out to Tony D, actually. That reminds me, guys, if you want to get into the premium Discord, I believe the prices go up at midnight tonight. So, yeah, if you want to get in and grandfathered in at the old price, you could check out frankiecandlestrading.com or the link in the description down below. But, yeah, Tony, just confirm that. I think they're going up at midnight tonight. So, there you go. Team Digital said, happy birthday, Rob. Happy birthday, Rob. By the way, I haven't congratulated you on your birthday in a while, man. I know it's every day. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. All right, let's take a look here at NEAR. Bada boom. I want Frankie Candles branded candles. Bullish blueberry. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I want a trading energy drink is what I want. We do have a connection to like an energy drink company. I don't know. Maybe we can make some trading elixirs. Scalping strawberry. Anyway, let's take a look at NEAR here. On the, let me find the chart real quick. Binance Tether US. Here we are. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat. He says, this is important. Crypto payments do not auto-renew. So if you have to keep up with it manually, If you miss the window to renew, you lose the pricing. Yeah, that is important to realize. If you pay with crypto, you have to renew every month. And if you get that removed, there's no way for us to get you back on the old thing, right? Or back on the old pricing. So if you pay with USD, then you can auto-renew. But you can't auto-renew with crypto. So just keep that in mind. But you can buy yearly, quarterly, or biannually. So yeah, check out frankiecandles.com. It's frankiecandlestrading.com. It's all on there. Let's continue on. All right, taking a look at NEAR here. Let's see, what is this? That's a monthly naked point of control. This is tapped, so we can take that off. Daily, weekly tapped. You can get rid of that as well. So yeah, I mean, we're just within our volume profile here. Deviation below the low, back into the range, go to the POC, and now we could be potentially on our way to the value area high. The only thing here is we're probably hitting a local value area high, which I would assume is, yeah, we are hitting this local value area high. So, yeah, I mean, next major level is going to be this value area high. It's $6.15. However, with that local value area, right, could you get a correction? Potentially. What would I look at if you get a pullback? Do I have that range drawn? I do not. I would probably be more likely to look at this like this. You have a lower range here. All right, I'll just give you the key levels here. Boom. Value area high. Okay, so, yeah, this is your key level of support. If you continue back down to the value area low, I would be looking at this, right? You have your golden pocket, value area low, 786 confluence. So if you do wind up coming back down there, I would just treat this as a range. If you get stuck back in here, probably on the way to the POC at 476, lose that POC, probably on your way to the golden pocket, 786, right? And then you start to get a move back out here, back to the POC, back to the value area high, flip that value area high. You can then look to come into your next area of balance, which is sitting here between about 655 all the way up to about 812. So that's what I would look at here on NEAR locally. But in the long term, I mean, taking a look at this long term, your next bigger targets are sitting all the way up here, which I think I already have these on the chart. Yeah, at that point, once you start breaking, once you start breaking out of here, get accepted into this local range, once you get out of here, you're inside your larger range, right, which you could potentially look up towards about 1099 all the way up to about 1371. 1360. So, yeah, that is pretty much what I'm looking at there. And let's see here. Yeah, I mean, you could even potentially Let me hide this little range right here. Bada boom, right? These are all these little ranges are local, right? So if you're just looking to buy near and you're looking for the next major targets, for me, all I see here is a deviation below this value area. Once you get back in, I'm looking at the POC and the value area high. Looking to fill that whole range. However, it's important, right, if you're trading, right, or you're, you want those local levels, you have to understand if you come up here, you're going to get some turbulence on these levels. But for the most part, if I buy near here for the long term, I don't care if it does this, right? I don't care if it's going to do this for a little bit before it goes. So those are the levels, right? Could potentially see a $6.70 near all the way up to potentially $11.30. Somebody clip it. Somebody clip it. Maybe even locally. We want to really nail this. Local target, 828, potentially, coming up here soon. But let's see. And then, to the downside, that's it, right? Lower range. If we start losing $3-4, $3.98, we start losing this, could look for a bigger move down. But until that happens, I would be, I think that daily red dot might be able to cool you off in here a little bit, but that's your local range. This is your upper range, simply put. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out, Tony. Solana, yeah, we can take a look at Solana. Let me check out this DIA. Let me take a look at it. Let's see here. DIA. I don't know anything about this project, really. I don't think. So I can give you the key levels. I can let you know what the chart looks like. So actually, let me pull this back here. Mark out our previous value area. This is the crystal ball, guys. The volume profiles are the crystal ball. The volume profiles will change your life. The way we use, the volume profiles, along with the other types of analysis we use, will change your life. Very likely. But yeah, this is what I would look at here on DIA. Not TIA, but DIA. You have your lower accumulation, right? Come on. Lower accumulation. Value area high, POC, value area low, and you broke out, right? This is the same thing that we look at on everything, guys. It's the same thing. Drop a candle in the chat right now if you guys are here every day and you started to use this analysis and it's been helping you. Because, or at least drop a candle in the chat if you guys have been here when we go over this idea. I'm going to call this, it's really just auction market theory, right? But I'm just going to call this value area bing bong, baby. That is what this is. You accumulate down here. This is an area of fair value. The market always seeks fair value. It doesn't care. I don't want to say news doesn't matter, right? But the market is seeking fair value. That is how the market moves. Fair value is between these volume profiles. This is why this is such an effective method. Fair value, when you deviate above that range, this is looked at as overvalued. When you deviate below that range, this is looked at as undervalued. So, when you're in balance, right? Not imbalanced, but in balance, you can trade these ranges very effectively. That's what we like to do. We like to take shorts at the highs, longs at the lows. Shorts at the highs, longs at the lows. And then when that chart decides to crack and find imbalance, meaning the buyers or sellers outweigh the other side, and we see a big move up or a big move down, that is called imbalance. And when price is in imbalance, all it can do is find new balance and create new balance somewhere, right? This is the least likely thing, right? In my experience, it can continue to imbalance or just trend up heavily, or more than likely, it will seek out previous balance, right? And where is the previous balance? It is within these volume profiles, guys. This is how the market moves, or this is one way to look at the market, right? And this is the way that helped me predict Bitcoin from 30K. Once we flip that level, that's how I knew we were going to go from 30K to 55K, right? I didn't know it because I'm a good guesser. I didn't know it because I have some secret information. I just looked at the chart, and the chart told me, right? So this is how we knew Dogecoin was going to go from 16 to 38 cents. And we knew it was going to make a pit stop at 26 cents, right? Because that's where the PLC was. This is how we do this, right? It's the rotation of value, right? Value, imbalance, price is always going to be gravitated towards that previous area of balance. And what happens here? You get the move up, buyers break out, and where do you go? Specifically to the PLC, because the PLC is the strongest level within the volume profile, right? So you get gravitated right into that POC. And now it's going to be resistance until proven otherwise. So the level to break here on DIA, not TIA, DIA with a D, is this purple box, right? So what you can expect, at least what I would expect, this is not guaranteed, but you see how much this hits, right? Get above this value area low. That's oftentimes the doorway to higher prices, right? That's on XRP. That was the level we had to flip to see that move up to the POC. But right now on DIA, the POC is very low, right? It's very close to one side of the profile. So I look at this as a zone. Sure, flipping the value area low is helpful, but you really got to get on top of that POC. The nice thing about this is once you get above that POC and hold it, there's not much above you holding you back from getting into that value area high, which does sit at $2.17. Does this mean buy DIA right now because it's going to go directly to $2.17 for an immediate 2x or 3x, whatever? No, it doesn't, right? Because this is going to be resistance until proven otherwise. So if I were looking at dollar cost average or buy some of this, I would buy some here in hopes that we can get back into this range. But if we didn't, I would deploy a little more capital here, deploy a little bit more capital here. Because what do we see on a lot of these altcoins, guys? Is this not out of the question just yet. But hopefully we could just rip out of here. Things might get moving pretty quickly. But oftentimes, if you pull your golden pocket 786, if you break out, a lot of times price will come back into the previous range to retest that support. This is what Dogecoin did. This is what a lot of the altcoins did. The ones that early movers, the Dogecoins, right? We look at this every day almost. We broke out of that previous range. Looked at this in the altcoin update as well, right? You broke out of that previous range. Where did you go? You went directly to the previous area of balance. And when you came back down, you tested the value area high and the POC before putting in a higher low and getting the full breakout into the range. Can we see something similar happen on DIA? Potentially. And on DIA, we're kind of right here, right? We're kind of like right here, right? Doesn't mean it has to follow the same thing, but it does happen a lot, right? So maybe we come back down, we test that value area high before filling the range, or maybe we test the POC before filling the range. Potentially. So yeah, that's what I'd be looking at here on DIA. Those are the key levels, and if you get a pullback, these are where I would be looking to buy the dip, right? If you wind up getting down there. But for the most part, you got to get above this $0.88 level, and that open you up to about $2.17. Now, are you going to have local levels in here? Sure. But for the most part, if you're accepted into this range, you're expecting the next likely place for price to go once you get above that POC is simply going to be that value area high. Simply put. Shout out to Tote. What just happened? I just got kicked out of the live stream, guys. What the heck? Hang on. I just got kicked out of the studio. Shout out to Tony D. Said, please read my second super chat from before. Very important to clarify for everyone. Also, guys, please remember that we cannot honor every super chat request for altcoins. Yes, thank you for saying that, Tony. We always try to look at as many as we can for the super chats, but we'd literally be here for 24 hours if we got to every single one. We do try to note them and look at them the next day. Tony D says, yes, when I say if you want your premium Discord membership to renew automatically and you want to do the monthly, it has to be USD, not USDT. You have to pay in fiat to get the auto-renew. We cannot auto-renew crypto, whether it's stablecoins or Bitcoin or whatever. Dogecoin, we actually take a lot of crypto. So I recommend if you want it to auto-renew, just do pay with fiat. If you want to buy chunks at a time, again, you can't renew that. So if you want to stay in at the regular rate, the lower rate, you got to basically do the monthly. But if you want to pay with crypto, I would recommend buy a chunk at a time. Do like 3 months or 6 months or a year or annual, whatever. That way you can hold that lower price for as much as possible. It's the way you could save the most money. So there you go. But again, the prices will go up at midnight. So you still have a little bit of time depending on where you live. East Coast, you still have a little bit of time. So there you go. Thank you for saying that, Tony. I appreciate you. But anyway, with all that being said, guys, that's what we're looking at on DIA. Hopefully that helps you guys out. I forgot who asked for that. Was it Nathan? Shout out to Nathan. He says, I bought it 70 cents and 79 cents. I assume you mean for this. 70 cents and 79 cents. So, yeah, I mean, listen, am I a fan of buying breakouts? Not really. If this is what you're talking about, am I a fan of buying breakouts? Not really. He said for SD. I don't know if that's in reference to this or not. But it makes sense. The prices make sense. I'm not a fan of buying breakouts, but here's the thing, right? If this thing just goes, it's going to be nice to be in here. And at the end of the day, like, if this thing goes off into all-time highs, right, let's just assume. And again, I'm not a fan of buying breakouts, but it's all relative. It's always going to depend on the situation is what I want to say, right? Because if this thing breaks out and goes into massive all-time highs, are you going to care when you're looking at this in hindsight? Are you going to care if you bought in here, 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 or here. No, you're just going to look at this as you bought the bottom, right? And you look back and be like, good thing I got in here, right? Because like I said, I don't think we're too late, or I don't think anyone's too late, but I will say it might be kind of getting to the point where I don't want anyone to FOMO, but I am not waiting for the huge pullbacks like I have been recently, or not recently, but that I was once waiting for. A lot of the altcoins, like I'm okay buying, I don't have to wait for the perfect bottom. Like you're never going to be able to time the perfect bottom. Even if you bought down here, you might think like, oh my God, I timed the bottom perfectly. And then sometimes you'll just get a flash crash, bing bong, right? And then you're going to be like, oh my God, I shouldn't have bought here. I'm scared now. You're never going to time the bottom. That's why I always recommend, especially for like, don't panic buy, right? Like DCA in. Find the coins that you want to accumulate. Buy a little bit every day. Buy a little bit every week. Take a little money out of each paycheck. And that's what I would do, right? It's what I used to do. Now I just sit on the computer and buy crypto all day. But yeah, like wait till you get paid, right? Like that's what I used to do. Like wait till you get paid from something and then take a portion of that, right? Eat beans and rice, right? This is the time where I was, back in 2016 or not 2016, like even back in last cycle, like guys, you don't like if in my opinion, right? If you want to change your life, you don't need new clothes. You don't need a new car. Hold out on the material stuff. Even if you made money on Bitcoin so far, redeploy. Like I am redeploying capital, right? Like you don't need the new fancy stuff. Like you can hold out, eat beans, don't eat out. Cut back on where you can, and because this is going to be the biggest financial opportunity in our lifetimes. And every cycle that goes by, it's going to get less and less lucrative because it's going to stabilize, right? There's always going to be degen stuff going on where you can gamble and hit it big sometimes. But, just understand this. And, if you can hold out on certain things, just look at money in terms of, should I buy the new iPhone? Or could this, $3,000 or not even, maybe like $2,000 become $20,000 potentially, right? How much is your iPhone going to go up in value? It's not. It's going to, iPhones are valuable, but they're not going to go up, right? Just keep that in mind. Like when you're out there, right? Like sacrifice. You have to sacrifice. Risk it for the biscuit. Sacrifice for I don't know what the risk it for a biscuit comparison to sacrifice it for the I don't know. You got to sacrifice, right? Don't worry about buying stuff right now, or at least that's how I would handle it. SD, I guess that's what you're talking about. Stater, I've heard that's very bullish right now. SD, we could try to take a look at that. It's on Coinbase. It's gonna be hard to read this. Oh no, not really. Hearing that it's bullish is I don't know, but based off of what? Is it? I don't know. I'm sure there is something. I just don't know what it is. But yeah, it's kind of hard. There's not a lot of price history here as far as the chart goes. But money flow trying to come back out here a little bit. It ripped already. So I wouldn't be surprised if you continue to get a little bit of a cool off. It's hard to call. It's hard to call because there's just no information on the higher time frames. I could give you like a 30-minute bias, right? But it's hard to look at something with this little price history, to be quite honest with you, at least when it comes to the chart. Let me see. Let me pull some local levels here real quick. Yeah, so this 786 is probably going to be a pretty key level, if I'm being honest. Big volume gap here. Big old volume gap here. So, yeah, really you want it to hold above this shelf of volume right here. You want it to hold 80 cents, right? So if I were looking at this before it dumped, right, the way I would look at this is, well, hey, where's all the volume at, right? So I would look at this as, hey, if we start breaking this shelf of volume right here, and by shelf of volume, I just mean this ledge, right? High volume node, for anyone new here, this is a high volume node. This is a shelf of volume, right? So when price comes up to one of these shelves or ledges, you expect it to hit its head, right? You're hitting your head on a ledge, right? Or a shelf. I call them shelves. So what I would say here, if I were looking at this in real time, is I would look at this and I would say, well, hey, if we lose this legend volume here, let me draw that, right? If you lose that, you're probably going to break into this low volume gap, which leads you to about 65 to potentially 60 cents, right? Where you had these previous highs, where that volume shelf picks back up, right? Big volume gap quick move up oftentimes leads to a quick move down. Now, this doesn't guarantee that you're going to just nuke down here. Oftentimes, it does mean that, to be quite honest. But doesn't guarantee it. So I don't want anyone to really panic. But yeah, the fact that you're in this low volume gap, you could continue down here. Also, money flow coming out on the 4-hour would make you anticipate a continuation of the downtrend. So like lackluster push up, lower high, continuation to the downside, right? And I would look to target up here in this high volume node. And just to kind of draw this out for you, I would probably, let me come down to a 30-minute time frame. Yeah, I mean, I would probably just pull this, right? Just pull this volume profile right here. I know this looks really confusing. I pulled up the TPO chart. Just bear with me here, guys. Boom. Pull back up our regular candles. So, yeah, that's kind of what I would look at. If you continue down through this volume gap, and I would say, like, your next key level is probably going to be 70 cents. You lose 70 cents, you could potentially fall back down to this zone. That's what I would look for. If you break 70 cents. But hopefully, I mean, again, it's hard to say because there's not a lot of price history here. But, you know, you're getting some kind of bull divs down here. Hopefully you can hold it. But I'd be careful around these. Yeah, 70 cents is going to be key. All right, so I'll just label that key. Key. Right? And then once you break down below that, I would look for a move closer to this value area high. Sitting between 56, POC sitting at 55, but the value area low sitting at 46 cents. So that's what I would look for. Hopefully you can get back out of here, right, and come back into this upper range. But I don't know if that's the fact that you're already kind of falling into this low volume gap. I don't know how likely that is. Because if I'm looking at this from the upper range point of view, right, I'm looking at this as, hey, bullish divergences, let's get back in here and rip, right? But money flow doesn't say that, right? Being in this volume gap doesn't necessarily say that. So what you really want to do is get back above this high volume node or back above this ledge of volume, about 80 cents. Reclaim 80 cents, get back in the profile, look for a move back up to the value area high. And again, I don't know anything about this project. It could be great. It could be a scam. I have no idea. But for me, if I were looking to buy this thing, you know, I would wait for that money flow crossover into the red to give me a little bit more of a move down, and I would probably look to pick up on that drop. But just keep in mind, that's not guaranteed. I don't know anything about this. I'm not dying to buy this. So, you know, if I really believed in it, I'd probably pick up some here. And then if it dropped back down, I'd look to buy back into this range and then hopefully take off out of there. Because, again, just like this is no support, this is big support, right? This is where most of your volume is. Like, even if you look at the all-time history, right? Like, this is where all your volume is. So if you do dump, right, hopefully you don't come back down there. Right, but if you did, this would be the big zone of support here between about 55 and 56 cents. And then let me just pull this fib real quick because I think you pulled it before. Come on. Let me zoom in. Let me just get this. Come on. There we go. So yeah, this key shelf of volume is also in line with your 786. So I would probably make this a zone. If you don't bounce out of here, right, if you don't hold the 786, bullish confirmations into the 786 could be a bounce back up to here. But with the way money flow looks, if you start losing this, I'd start getting suspicious for a bigger move down. So there you go. Those are the levels I'd be looking at. Hopefully that helps you out, bro. Let's see. Tron says 850 like giveaway members. Shout out to Tron. 1,000 likes will give away $100 in Solana. We'll add $100 to the Solana giveaway tomorrow. If we get 850, what are we at right now? If we get 850, we'll give away 50 memberships. We'll do it. Shout out to Tron. Thank you for the idea. Let's go. Smash that like button, guys. 3, 2, 1. Smash the like button. We're at 508. Let's see if we can run it up to 700 in 30 seconds. Let's see. Let's see if we can do it in 30 seconds. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Thank you so much for the super chat, bro. What is going on? He said, Dot, please, Frankie. Fan favorite tonight. Okay, yeah, let's take a look at Polkadot here because I would like to look at Dot as well. So, yeah, with Polkadot, let me zoom out a bit here. And it's pretty much the same situation, right? I will hide this range for now because we are losing it, but it is still relevant. But I'll just hide it for now. Zoom out a bit here. So, we had our lower accumulation, right, or our lower volume profile. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. If there's one word that I can remember, you'd think it would be volume profile. Yeah, I mean, we got the big rip up, and this is why we don't FOMO in, right? We don't FOMO in. And again, like if you bought up here and this dips back down and then it rips again, like are you going to be in profit? Probably. But we do not FOMO in on green candles. In the premium Discord, we were looking at this at $4.40, $4.30, I think, right here, right, where we saw the short squeeze building, saying, hey, if we can get that short squeeze to play out based off very specific things, I won't explain how it works right now, but just in detail, it's like what we were looking for. And then we could get the squeeze, and we'd look to come back into this range, right? Now, we got that squeeze, right? We're not FOMOing at the top. You have to look to buy it when it's low. But if we continue down here, I mean, the levels on DOT remain the same, right? The retracement levels would be 454 and 442, right? That's the golden pocket, value area high confluence. We broke out of the range. Are we going to come down and retest the scene of the crime before continuing up? Potentially, right? Same thing that we looked at on a lot of the other altcoins. If we get a breakdown below here, can we go into the POC 786? Potentially, right? And then this fib is old, so I can get rid of that, right? But your 786, I get rid of this as well. 786, golden pocket. Let me hide the visible range volume profile. So yeah, these would be the from the low to the high. That's your first golden pocket retracement, right? So if we do wind up coming down there, you would look for a bounce. If you come back down here, look for the bounce, right? It's the same exact thing as on Dogecoin, right? But a little bit of a different, hey, let's go. Let's go. Anyway, that hypes me up every time, guys. But same thing on Dogecoin, right? Like, I know it gets scary, right? Like, you have to have a longer-term view on things, right? When you look to buy an altcoin, it does not have to go to the moon the next day. Yeah, like, at least, like, when I buy something, I don't mind sitting on it, right? Like, if you believe in the project, like, you have to be patient, right? So, if you look here, there's your POC retest, there's your value area high retest, and it was also your 786 retest, right? So, Dogecoin breaks out of its range, comes and tests the upper value area, loses it, and then it's like, oh my God, what the heck? It's not bullish anymore? Like, no, you're just going for the retracement, right? Now, could you have dumped here? Sure. But until you break these levels, you can look at this as a potential dip buy scenario before coming back in and filling that whole range. Same exact thing on Polkadot, right? Same kind of theory. Now, it's a little bit different, right? Because Polkadot, what we're looking at on Dogecoin was Dogecoin actually got a breakout here to its old range, couldn't get accepted, came back in for the POC retest, and then filled. That's what Dogecoin did, right? But we're just looking at the same theory or the same technique a little bit more locally, right? Because we have the lower range and then this kind of upper range. This isn't the 2021 range, but what happens, right? You get the breakout, you come in, you can't hold it. Maybe you're going to come back down and test these before the bigger move up, right? And then maybe that is where you break down, test it, come back in, fill the range. Potentially. That's what we're looking for. And the fun part about that is, guys, as long as DOT doesn't go to zero, which I hope it doesn't because I hold it, and that would hurt. But as long as this thing is going to come back, even after you get back up here, like the game hasn't even begun yet, right? Because you're not even near your macro value area. Right, so, does everything come back in every cycle? Absolutely not, right? Like, just because DOT was around last cycle does not mean it's guaranteed to make new all-time highs. But I like DOT. I think I think it's a sound project. I believe in it. I think it's going to play out. Doesn't guarantee it. I'm not a financial advisor. This thing can go to zero. I'm prepared with the risk taken. I've already taken the risk. I'm prepared to lose money. I'm prepared to stop myself out at a certain loss, right? But if this does play out, value area high, break out of here, like Dogecoin's already like up here. Right, so like that's why DOT looks so undervalued to me. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it dies. But me personally, that's not how I'm playing it. But we'll see. Like to the previous all-time high, I mean that's like a 10x, right? So 1,000% gain to the all-time high. Doesn't guarantee that has to go up there, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, let's see. Shout out to Jen Fen. Shout out to you. Says, hey, Frankie, thank you and respect for your time on the charts, brother. Hey, shout out to Jen Fen. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate you. All right, let's continue on here. Shout out to Nathan. Thank you for the super chat. Says, only reason I ask is because I saw a YouTuber for the last month stress DIA, SD, and ABT. I just don't want to fall into a scam. Yeah, I don't know what DIA or SD is. Those could be scams, but I'm not calling them scams. I just don't know anything about them. But yeah, I mean I don't know. That chart didn't look like a scam, but doesn't mean it's not. But yeah, hopefully that helps you out. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Shout out to Star Wars World. Thank you for the super chat. Says, can we check out Gala? We can take a quick look at Gala. Not a problem. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's take a look at Gala, or Gala, as some people call it. I call it Gala. Let's see here. I mean, you know, I always say Gala is one of the few gaming companies that actually have playable games, right? One of the few. Or it used to be more the the case with the gaming. But I'll be honest, guys. In crypto, I don't even really know how much that matters, right? Like, sometimes the projects that pump the hardest are the ones that never fulfill their roadmap, right? Like last cycle, it was like a lot of the gaming companies were releasing these like 3D renderings of like crazy gameplay, but they were just 3D videos. They were not actual gameplay. But some projects just rip based off that like fake news type stuff, right? It's all about hype. In crypto, you don't necessarily need the most sound project. Now, do I believe in investing in real technology, real projects? Absolutely, right? But in crypto, like, we're not in the real world here. We are in effing la-la land, right? Like, it does not matter. If it's got hype, if they're making promises and people buy it, that thing is going to go up. So just keep that in mind, right? I turned $100 into almost $20K on a scam. And I could have even sold it, right? They wound up scamming. I didn't sell before the scam was over. That was the only problem. So yeah. But for Gala, I mean, you're still down here. Long term, guys, you're still down in these accumulation ranges. I mean, just remember, like, Dogecoin looked like this at one point. Like, nobody gets excited over anything until it pumps. But they're getting excited. Like, I already see, like, it's so funny. It's like you know, it's over. Bitcoin breaks a new all-time high. It's like, I'm a big on Instagram and TikTok, right? Funny enough, I don't really post that much, like, content on there, but I watch a lot of it. Bitcoin breaks all-time high. Everyone's a crypto TikToker. It's hilarious. And they're just like, guys, like Dogecoin is at bear market lows. And I'm like, dude, what? Now, is Dogecoin lower now than it's going to be in 2025, 2026? Probably. But is it at bear market lows? Not even close. We are 700% above bear market lows. This is like, everybody's a crypto TikToker now. I see them talk about it. I'm like, yeah, everyone's like excited about this buying up here. Now, again, do I own Doge? Yes. Do I think Doge is going to pump from here? Yes. But no one wants to get excited when Doge is down here, right? Everyone buys Doge up here and up here. Nobody buys Doge, or not nobody buys it, but like no one talks about it when it's down here or when it's down here, right? Because that doesn't get views, right? What gets views is talking about it here, talking about it here. But your boy Frankie Candles is letting you know the projects that are still down there, because I want you to make money. But let's go back here, right? So Gala, I mean, is kind of in that situation, right? Now, locally, yeah, I mean, let's see. 2-day money flow crossover into the red. Daily money flow in the, 2-day money flow crossover into the green. Daily money flow in the green. Let's check that 10-hour. 10-hour money flow is in the green. Weekly green dot is probably confirmed. Yeah, weekly green dot confirmed. Also, your weekly money flow coming up here, right? So if you're looking for Gala to pump, like if you look at the weekly money flow crossovers, guys, here's your weekly money flow crossover on Dogecoin. Right? Right here. Weekly money flow crossover into the green usually starts the bull market, just like the weekly money flow crossover into the red is typically what gives you your big drop into the bear market, right? We look at this on Bitcoin constantly. Let's look at some other stuff. Cardano, weekly money flow crossover. Well, last weekly money flow crossover into the green wound up giving us the last pump, but weekly money flow crossover into the green, weekly money flow crossover into the red. This starts the bear market. This usually starts the bull market. Same thing on Bitcoin. It's like even more obvious on Bitcoin, right? Let's go back to 2017. Weekly money flow crossover into the red. This is just basic stuff here. Weekly money flow crossover into the red. Start of the bear market. That's where you buy, right? And then your money flow crosses over into the green. Now, obviously, you had the black swan event, so you did fake out here. But for the most part, once the money flow crossed back over into the green, right, ignoring the black swan event, you cannot predict those, off into the races. Even here, weekly money flow crossover into the green, off into the races, right? Weekly money flow crossover into the red, into the bear market. Current cycle, weekly money flow crossover into the green, bull market, right? So when I look at things like Gala, and we're sitting down here with a weekly money flow crossover into the green, does it mean that it's going to absolutely moonshot from here? Not necessarily, but if I'm looking for an investment and not a day trade, which it depends on what you're looking for, but if I were looking to accumulate Gala, I mean, buying down here, guys, like I don't know how much lower people want things to go, right? Ethereum is ripping, right? Total 3 has broken key support, key resistance, right? Come on. Total 3 is back above key support inside this value area. This value area low has been cracked, right? So if we're going to see these altcoins fly, I don't know how much lower people want them to go. So Gala, in my opinion, Gala's down there. That's a buy for me. If I were buying Gala, you know, I'm not telling you to buy Gala. I'm just saying if I were buying Gala, I would be looking at this range. Right? I'd be like, I'm happy picking it up here. I'm happy if it dumps down here. I'll buy some more, right? And then look for it to break out. Upper range, upper targets, right? I mean, if we pull up the VPVR, see where the volume is at. Let's check it out. Okay, VPVR didn't work. There we go. Let's take a look here. Come on. Come on, volume. All right, well, there's not a lot. So, to be quite honest, yeah, the upper targets here, you know, 15 cents will be the big boy doorway to higher prices. And to be honest, there's not a lot of volume. Like, once you start cracking out of this range, that move up could start pretty quickly. Looking to 15 cents. Flip 15 cents, you're looking to go to 25 and potentially 44. Kind of very similar, even price-wise, to Dogecoin, where that 16-cent level was your doorway to higher prices up to 28 and then 26 and 38 cents. Very kind of similar here. So, yeah, that's what I'd be looking at on Gala with the weekly money flow crossover into the green. Unless everything nukes, unless Bitcoin gets a massive correction, right? Let's pretend, maybe if Bitcoin winds up just absolutely crushing back down, like which I wouldn't really expect at this point. I don't see how much lower that would really go. Shout out to Nathan, said, have you ever heard of ArcBlock? Yeah. ArcBlock. If you're asking like if ArcBlock is a scam, like I can't verify that it's definitely not a scam. But no, like ArcBlock is not a scam. This is not like because you said you heard it from an influencer. You're just hoping that it's not a scam. Like this is I know what this is. This is not we look at this often. But this is also very similar to Dogecoin, where you got the back test of that prior range, right? Breakout, back test of the prior range, value area high. Whoops. Pull this real quick. Value area high, 786. You've lost. Let's pull the full fib here. Yeah, I mean, there's your 786 retracement on the value area high. This could be this would have been a dip buy for me, right? See what happens. See if you can break out higher. But yeah, you've gotten the breakout. You've gotten the bullish retest. Your green dot is printing on the weekly. What is your 10-hour money flow doing? Oh baby, if this green dot on the 10-hour. Somebody clip it. ArcBlock. Green dot on the 10-hour. If that brings your money flow into the green on the 10-hour with your weekly green dot, it's going to be the same setup that we saw that I just explained on XRP. And funny enough, this may just happen going into a weekend just like XRP. What we were looking at on XRP, weekly green dot, that was printing right here, right here. And the 10-hour money flow crossover into the green, indicating the trend was likely to continue up. All we had to do was break the value area low and look up towards 83 cents. Talk about it almost every day. Sometimes I feel like I beat the dead horse too much, but I think repeating it kind of helps people remember and understand like the significance of it, right? Like there's a reason why we call for this, right? Doorway to higher prices with the money flow crossover on the 10-hour and the weekly. Very, 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 very powerful strategy. So there you go. Let's see. Pepe, we can take a look at Pepe. Let's see. All right, well, yeah, I mean, this is kind of the same thing we looked at yesterday, guys. We did draw the spider lines on Pepe, and the spider line is holding up. But what I'd be looking at here is, very simply put, yeah, you got your nice little Fibonacci extension here. Got the rejection. If you keep breaking up, next targets for me are going to be between 35.78 and 31.64. Other than that, daily money flow is in the green. Red dot looking to print 3-day, 4-day, 5-day. Is that weekly green dot printing or is it confirmed? Do we have one? Yes. All right, so that green dot has been confirmed. I don't think we have any monthly information. Okay, yeah, I mean, can you get a cool-off potentially, right? Obviously, Pepe can rip if she wants to rip, or he wants to rip, I guess. So, yeah, I mean, next target to the upside is going to be between those levels that I just said. Hard to say, right? Like, I can look at this and say, well, hey, your 1 hour money flow is kind of trending out. I can look at your 90-minute money flow and say that's kind of trending out. I can say that we're about to print a red dot on the daily. Can that pull you back? Yes. But in a bull market like this, sometimes, like I said, that money flow will just yeet back up. So you got to understand the environment that you're trading in. But if we can get above this fib extension, I'd be looking up here for sure on Pepe. That's the next stop, in my opinion. So there you go. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. YouTube censors the strangest stuff. What did it censor? Shout out to Wig 589. Yo, shout out to Wick. Yeah, YouTube is funky. Don't short Pepe. Yeah, I would not be looking to short Pepe right now. I mean, that's actually a lie. Like, would I look to short Pepe? I would, but it would have to be in a local context, right? I want to be clear. I said this the other day. You can short in a bull market, right? You can 100% short in a bull market. We've been doing it, right? You just have to understand the context of those shorts, right? A lot of people are like, I personally wouldn't, just because Pepe's, I don't leverage trade meme coins, right? Well, I do, but I wouldn't be doing it in this situation, right? So yeah, I basically agree with that. Like, I wouldn't really, but if Pepe came up here, gave me bearish confirmations, I would 100% short it. Again, if I were trading Pepe, I would 100% short this, but with the understanding that that short is going to be a scalp down to the value area low, not a massive dump to the downside. Very important to realize. There's plenty of money to be had shorting in a bull market. But you just have to understand that these are going to be the shorts, and those are going to be the longs, right? It's okay, but there's money to be had on these moves down. We do it all the time. But, yeah, I would not, right now, I'm not saying Pepe is a good short right now. But, yeah, I'd be looking up towards those next targets. If you get a cool-off, I would just let that cool off, right? I would not be looking to short it. So, yeah, you can look at your golden pocket sitting at about, 1770, but, we'll have to see what happens. It's kind of hard to get those levels here, as Pepe is absolutely screaming to the upside in price discovery. So there you go, guys. Have you seen Peanut? That thing went crazy, and it ripped like 8,500% in 10 days. Yeah, shout out to Joe Mama. I'm not talking about your mom, guys. I'm not talking about your mom. Yeah, Peanut's absolutely ripping. Yeah, the meme coins are gonna do crazy, crazy, crazy numbers. Let's see. Is peak too new for levels? No, not necessarily. A little bit, right? There's just no context. But yeah, shout out to say it with me, Sweep. Shout out to Suey. But yeah, shout out to you, bro. Yes. So peak, I have been looking at this now. Obviously, I believe they had a pre-sale, so you might see a little dumpage on this. You might see a little dump on this coming into here as the pre-sale starts to dump it out. But this is something I am looking to accumulate some of. It's a deep in play. So I might make a video about this soon. I actually was talking to Tony about this today. So I have my eyes on this chart. Just be aware that it may continue to dump off the pre-sale. So that is something you want to keep in mind. But again, not looking to snipe the bottom, right? Like, you don't have to buy the bottom. You're going to wind up, if you try to buy the bottom, snipe the bottom, and put all your money in at one time, it's very hard to do. It's like gambling, right? Like, oh my God, this is the bottom. Yes, I'm right. Oh, wait, maybe I'm not right. Oh, no, I was right. Oh, no, wait, no, I think I'm right. Never mind, I was wrong, right? So that's why, I haven't bought this just yet. I'm kind of letting it settle. But yeah, like if I were buying it, I'd buy it here, I'd buy it here, I'd buy it here for an average buy-in price. So there you go. But yeah, it's a little too soon for like any kind of significant TA, to be quite honest. Like, the only thing I could kind of do here is like find you levels to the upside, right? Like I could pull a volume profile here, but it's not as useful. But I am keeping this is on my watch list. I am watching this, and I am looking to accumulate. I might buy some of it tonight. I might make my first buy tonight. But guys, with all that being said, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. We will, any of the alts that we could not get to, we'll try to get to tomorrow. But we're here every single weekday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. If you want to check out the altcoin update, make sure you do that. There's still relevant information in there. It's not quite outdated just yet. It'll probably be relevant for a bit. But go check that out if you have not already. But yeah, we will see what happens on Bitcoin here, guys. If you missed the Bitcoin TA, go ahead and scrub back to the beginning of the show, and you guys will see exactly what I'm looking at. We're actually getting a bounce off our value area low as we speak. So we'll see what happens. I will keep you guys updated with market updates. If something crazy happens tomorrow, I'll do a market update. If not, shout out to I don't know what that says. Top Malsey. Shout out to you, bro. He said, "How did you not mention ETH? Usually we start with ETH, but we got a little sidetracked here. But yeah, Ethereum. I mean, we can show Ethereum real quick, right? Ethereum. Yeah, I mean, we're just within our volume profile. We got up to 31 to 30. Sometimes it's hard, guys, because we look for these moves, and then we just kind of let the thing play out, right? Like, we got the move up to 31 to 3,200. We look to get inside this volume profile, and what happens, right? We get into the volume profile. Yesterday, we were looking at this as our key level of support, golden pocket 786 value area low. If we cool off, we're looking to come down here. This could be a nice area to get a bounce from. But if we start losing this level here and we don't hold that 786, that would be kind of not worrisome, but that would be where I'd look for a bigger move down on Ethereum. But other than that, we've already come down to the golden pocket. Maybe we can get a little bit of a bounce here. We're also seeing some 30-minute bull divs here. But again, I don't want to stress too much here just because we're in a bull market. But this money flow is saying that we might want to get a bigger correction. But in a bull market, that money flow sometimes just comes back up into the green. So it's really hard to call right now. You got to play it level to level. But you're at support. If you break down from here, 786 at about 3K, 2930 is going to be your kind of next big level. You lose that, probably going to be looking for the bigger move down. But if we hold it, maybe we can get a little bit of a bounce. But with this money flow, if we were not in the middle of a giant move on Bitcoin, this money flow coming out simply tells me that I am going to look for lackluster retracements to put in lower highs and then break structure to the downside. That's what I would be looking at just based off money flow. But just, again, I know it's like kind of going back and forth here. Just keep in mind, we're in a bull market now. So, and have been for quite some time. But, this money flow would not surprise me if we got a little more move down. But yeah, with all that being said, guys, that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Thank you for hanging out with us and spending your precious time here. There's a lot of things you could be doing on a Thursday night, but you chose to do some work and pay attention to the Frankie Candles live stream to hopefully better your future. And shout out to Say It With Me, Sui. Shout out to Tron, Wick 589, Jesse. Shout out to Just Do It. Just Do It. Shout out to Just Do It. Wick 589. Let's see. Shout out to Ryan. Thank you for being here. Derelict, welcome back. And yeah, good to see good to see some old names in here. Everybody's coming back to crypto. That's always good to see. But with all that being said, guys, I will see you tomorrow, same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Trade safely out there. It's a washing machine with all that liquidity out. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Say what it be, I know the king, follow his lead, repeat after me. I know they lurking, this serpent is circling, but I never worry, cause he got the keys, he let it bleed. Never put me on the freeze, just look how he spit it to me. It'll be out of right after I seek. You can't make the promise unless you the king. Jay with a baby, I am what he made me. No, you cannot shame me, so it's for the birds. Buy for a price, you ain't know what it's worth. He not letting go like it's grandmama purse. Rolling with heavy, he feeling kinda discouraged, cause he feeling down in the dirt. I told him heavy, you only need faith, cause yes, you already did all the work. Life or death, this life is best. I'd rather see the vision complete instead of the speed to find regret. You gotta breathe so you can be free, so you never need the ice and checks. This be my plea, I lost my debt. I gotta cheese, I found my flex. I gotta be, I gotta breathe, I gotta breathe. Keep moving. play no dwelling in the past, yeah. It's unusual how pain can make you glad. Pain can make you, pain can make you breathe. We on the way, talk about legacy, legends right next to me. Don't need it, check out the AG and Addy. Come with the beef and we serving the patties. Check out the verbs if it's getting chatty. You gotta move, but ain't gotta prove that you out in the front. You do what you do when you ain't gotta stunt. Cause humble is up and the proud gotta punt. 4th and 10, if you wanna win, best put me in. I got the shooters that's ready to spin. They come with the king and he know how to win. He come to your team and he do it again. Rain to sleep, when the sun is at its peak. Gotta keep moving my feet until my journey is complete. Capiche?
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road.